AITA for making my husband find a different way home because he kept ignoring me. I, 27F, recently went to a dinner party that my husband, 28M, family planned, and we took our two kids, 2F and 6 months F. I was already dreading it to begin with since a lot of his family, besides his parents and almost all of his siblings except one, don't like me and I hate being in conflict. So the first problem arose when we showed up at my SIL, coincidentally the one that doesn't like me, S30F, house where the party was taking place, and my husband immediately just got out of the car and walked inside without even looking back to see if I needed help getting the kids out of the car. Luckily, Emile saw that happen and she came to help me. Later, I asked him why he did that, and all he had to say was, I saw an old family friend and didn't want to miss him, so whatever, I let it go. Then later, everyone was sitting in the living room together, besides SAL who was making the food. And I guess so all of the kids that were there wouldn't be so picky. SIL was making separate food for the kids, but the food wasn't ready in time for the adults' food to get ready. So SIL asked who would be okay with sitting with the kids until their food was ready. Without asking me first, my husband said, "You can do it, right?" Pointing at me, but didn't even give me a chance to respond before he walked out. Emile said she wanted to stay and help me, but I told her it was okay, and she could eat. Then once we all got to eat dinner, our older daughter wanted to sit with Emile to eat dinner, and I asked Emile if that was okay, and of course she said yes. But then during dinner, SIL kept making really judgmental comments towards me and my kids that were making me really uncomfortable to the point where I really didn't want to be there anymore, but I just pushed through anyways because my kids were having fun, and they didn't seem to understand what was going on, and I didn't want to ruin their fun. About an hour after dinner, everyone was just hanging out and talking. We had been there for 4 hours at this point, which even just being there for that long was huge for me because I have really bad social anxiety and typically don't last long at social gatherings. So anyways, an hour after dinner, the kids were getting cranky and tired. I had met my limit and wanted to go home, so I went to find my husband to tell him we wanted to go home. It took me 10 minutes to find him, and when I did, he asked me to give him 20 minutes to say bye and finish his conversation. So I went back where I came from and waited. Another half an hour went by and still no sign of him, so I went and found him again in the exact same spot he was in before, and I told him he had until I got the kids in the car before I left him there. He barely acknowledged me and just nodded, so I did exactly that, got the kids into the car, and then waited an additional 10 minutes, nothing. So I left and went home. An hour and a half later, he texted me asking where I was, and I told him that I was home, and then he didn't respond. He got home 30 minutes later and immediately started screaming about how I was rude and selfish for just leaving like that, and that I should have taken his feelings more into consideration because he never gets to see his family, which is a total lie. Now, since then, he keeps giving me the silent treatment, and if it's not that he starts arguments for no good reason. AITA here?